Okay, so this is phase two of social marketing, and we'll be talking about Facebook prospecting and recruiting. So we want to know what's the difference between social marketing and prospecting, because there is a huge difference between the two. So social marketing is an awesome way to get people to reach out to you, but it's also passive because you benefit from it later on down the line. So the interest isn't on the merchandise or the company, but it's more so on the person that's behind the business. So social marketing is also considered attraction marketing, which is doing certain things so that people come to you versus you seeking them out. So what are the certain things that we would do to attract individuals to us who become our prospects? We use Facebook Live, engagement posts, value posts, milestone posts, nonchalant promos, direct promos, happy birthday posts, new friends, follow-ups, and meaningful comments. And all of these are in the tracker from phase one. So this is just the activity that we've been doing since phase one, which is attraction marketing or social marketing. Now, some examples of social marketing would be using your Facebook Live. So here's an example of a Facebook Live that I did where I just talked about the top 3 reasons why people quit. It was about 10 minutes long. It has over 1,000 views and 14 shares. So this is great for engagement. It will definitely go back out into the news feed and keep that algorithm going, kind of going against the Facebook algorithm so that individuals will continue to see it. And this post continued to get comments for several days. So you just want to make sure that you're using your Facebook Live and doing topics that are going to be relevant next year or 5 years from now. An example of a Facebook group post would be you get accepted into a new group, you introduce yourself, and you kind of pique their interest, and now they're commenting. This particular post got 163 comments, and all I did was introduce myself, tell them how old I am. This was a single travel group, so of course I got a lot of new friend requests. Majority of the friend requests were men. So I had to filter through those requests and make sure that these were people that I would possibly partner with. So I had to make sure that they were professionals, make sure that they were positive on their posts and things like that before I accepted them. And then of course the women, I went ahead and I accepted them and I inboxed them immediately to kind of start to build some rapport with them. And then another example of a social marketing post would be an engagement post where you're going to get your followers to actually comment on something that you put up so that you can kind of get that algorithm going with Facebook as well. And so this is a popular one that everybody has been using where you're just saying, okay, some of y'all never say hi to me or anything. So let's get to know each other. If we don't, drop a hello so I can thank you for paying attention. So that got 174 comments, and individuals where I was able to have a conversation with individuals on the feed, and I was able to take it off into their inbox because it was people that I hadn't spoken to in a while. So that helped me to actually get, like, really see who's out there that I didn't even know that I was friends with. And so prospecting is an active money-making activity that has to be a part of your daily method of operation. So you're intentionally reaching out to individuals to pique their interest. And what does your daily method of operation look like? It means that you're reaching out to people that are on your warm market list, your cold market list, you're piquing their interest, and then you're showing them a plan. What is the plan? There are several different ways to expose people to this business, whether you're putting them on a live webinar, a launch call, a pre-recorded launch call, a Zoom webinar, the 11-minute video that we have, the big picture, or sending them out to a weekly meeting. So there are several ways that you can show the plan. Of course, you're following up with that third-party validation by letting them talk to your upline mentorship. And then the follow-up calls. You're doing follow-up calls on a daily basis to check in with individuals to see if they've watched it, if they've been in the group, the secret group, and they've watched the videos. You follow back up with them. Hey, what did you like best about what you saw? So you're doing these things on a daily basis because that is prospecting. You're very intentional about going out to get your actual prospects. So social marketing, they come to you. Prospecting, you go to them. So how are you going to attract your ideal audience? There are several ways that we are going to attract our ideal audience. There's a combination of these things that you should be doing on a weekly basis. So again, using Facebook Live. Now, if going Facebook Live is something that you're not too comfortable with just yet, then you're going to go ahead and do a pre-recorded video. So you definitely want to, guys, please mute the line if you're on the line. Please do yourself. So pre-recorded video where you record yourself and you're doing something where you're entertaining, educating, or empowering someone. And you want to do it as often as possible. As often as possible, because this engagement is going to get individuals to actually comment, get you to connect with them, build a rapport, keep those relationships going. So with the pre-recorded video, you're going to pre-record something and kind of put a picture next to it, because it will play like it's alive and people will watch it and they will comment. Having daily interactions, I can't stress enough how important this is. So interaction creates connection, guys. I'm going to say that again. Interaction creates connection. We engage and communicate with people on a daily basis, and the results speak for themselves. We're used to just being on Facebook, social media, Instagram, and just kind of here and there commenting on people's stuff because we're not thinking of it as it being beneficial to our business. But now that we know it is, because it's social marketing, we have to be more intentional about it on a daily basis. If you want more likes, comments, and shares given to you, you have to give it to others. So you're going to give even more likes, comments, and shares first, because that's going to bring them to you. It's going to attract them to you. So remind people of yourself by showing up in their notifications. When they see your name consistently, they're going to return the likes, the comments, and the shares as well, because they see you commenting on their status updates. Using Facebook Messenger, guys. Private messages are another great way to connect with people. They feel more personal and people appreciate them. So check who's online right now. You can see who's online and drop them a line. Better yet, use the audio recorder. They absolutely love that. I love to receive audio recordings. Send them a quick voice message. It's the fastest and it's way more effective when they hear your voice. It gives it a personal touch. Now, understanding the benefits of Facebook groups, guys. You must use Facebook groups because they are so beneficial to growing your business. They're so effective. Even if they're not directly connected to your line of work, you're going to join those groups that have common interests with you so that you can attract other people that have ambition. You're going to interact with them, build relationships, and create a network of like-minded people inside that very same group, because you see what they're posting and now you're commenting on it, and you didn't realize that this person maybe has the same interest as you, even though the group has another interest overall, but they're talking about something different. So after that, it'll be so much more easier for you to attract them to take a look at your business. So how do we form these relationships like a professional? You're going to use a method called FORM, which stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message, guys. So when you set out to build a lasting relationship with your prospects, the biggest secret is to understand what's important to them. You're going to simply ask them so you can find out. People are selfish in nature, and they like talking about themselves, and they like being asked questions where they get to talk even more about themselves. So you want to use that to your advantage. So some of the most effective questions that we like to ask are divided into 4 categories. So you're going to use these questions. You may have some other ones that'll get the person talking, but these are the basics. So with family, asking them where they're from, do they have a big family, how many kids they have, how old are their children. These are things that you're going to have in common, and it's going to keep the conversation going. Occupation, what's their background? What do they like best about what they do? How long have they been doing it? How did they get started in it? Are they looking to do something different? Whatever it is, they are going to tell you. Recreation, what do they do for fun? Do they get to do it a lot? Because if they say they like to travel and they don't get to travel a lot, boom, that's a hot button right there for you. What's their favorite place to go? Maybe you can help them go there where they're going to save on going to that place. Do you play any sports? Whatever it is for recreation, you're going to get that out of them so that you can continue the conversation. And then message, guys. Once you identify their personality type and you figure out what their hot buttons are, now you can effectively deliver the message. If they're constantly talking about wanting to be able to explore the world, experience the world, and travel, then you know that you need to hit on that. If they're talking about living check to check, needing more money, trying to make a difference in their household financially, then you know that you're going to deliver a message that's geared towards the business opportunity. So after all the questions and all of the rapport that you've built, it's time to invite them to take a look at your business. So here's where the inviting process happens. Here are some examples of what you can say. There's actually going to be a PDF file that has this. So it's going to be like a cheat sheet that you can use. So don't worry about trying to write this down. You can screenshot it for now, but just make sure that you go and get a hold of that PDF and save it and keep it right next to your computer. So for example, you can say, hey, Paul, how are things? And just catch up a little bit with them. Find out what they've been up to. You don't have to go in for the kill right away. Just start talking to them on Monday. Maybe by Wednesday, you've gone back and forth several times to where now you can actually offer and invite them to take a look at the opportunity. So you can say, I found the way to make money using Facebook. Oh my goodness, you have to see this. I can add you to a private Facebook community that you must check out. It's blowing up right now and I'm already experiencing success. You can say things like, oh my goodness, I've traveled more than I ever have in the last year. And I thought that I would be spending $1 million to travel. Listen, I'm traveling and I'm staying at 5-star properties for 2-star prices. It's been absolutely amazing. So when your friend responds back with, what's the business? What is this Facebook group about? And they're going to say, sure, go ahead and add me. You can send them the Peak ITA and the Peak Rep video, or you can go ahead and add them to the group. But once they've watched, message them and ask them. So is this something you'd be interested in learning more about? Or what did you like best about what you saw? And wait for their answer. Then you can simply, if you have not already added them to the Facebook community, go ahead and add them to the Facebook community 24/7 Travel Agent Sneak Peek. So sometimes it just depends on what the conversation is to where you determine if you should send them the peak videos or if you should just go ahead and ask them, do they want to be a part of the group? So you figure that out and use your discretion. But you're going to tag them in the welcome post under the announcements, send them the following private message. Hey, I've connected you as my guest in the 24/7 Travel Agent Sneak Peek. I tagged you in a couple of videos that explain how we travel for less and earn an income. And this is how you're going to, get to where you need to get. They're going to see this video that's going to tell them to click on the learning tab so that they can see it's 5 units. They're going to go through all 5 units, and then you're going to make sure that you message them to see that they've made it through everything, see if they have any questions. So you're going to tag them under the videos in a designated order, which will be provided on the next slide. So just make sure that you're following the organization of where you're tagging them so that they're getting all the information that they need so they can make an educated decision. So here's the order of the videos that they'll be tagged in. You can screenshot that, but for the most part, we're definitely providing a list for you so that you know what videos to actually tag them in. And guys, they may not have to see every single video. They may be ready after watching just the 4 to 5 units. They may not need to be tagged under these other videos, but you use your discretion based on the feedback that they're giving you. So video number 1 is, of course, the welcome video. Then you have our agent back office video that gives them a tour of our back office so they can see all the trainings and the education that we have that's provided for us, as well as just access to, our commission statements, access to overviews of our suppliers, just everything that's back there that they have access to for free. And number 3 video is our Jamaica commission. So that's the video where I'm going through the VAX and I'm putting together a quote for a couple, and it turns into, I believe, 3 couples, and the commission turns out to be $900. You can tag them under that, especially if they're like, well, how am I really going to make some money? Well, here you go. Take a look at this. It's going to show you exactly how we do it. Then we have the Punta Cana rate video, which is myself just showing what my experience was like to go and experience the Majestic Colonial in Punta Cana for $60 a night. So initially in the caption, it just says, can you guess how much my educational rate was to go and stay here? And it gives them a breakdown of what was included in this resort. And then they have to watch the video in order to actually see how much it cost me. It's a really, really good live video, really engaging. So it will definitely draw them into the fact that we have some great travel perks and benefits as agents. Video number 5 is from Food Stamps to Passport Stamps. Is an interview with one of our 1-star directors, Miss Lanisa Spence, really explaining how she went from being on food stamps to now being able to travel the world. And she started out as a single mom of 4, and now she's living the life of her dreams because she took an opportunity for $199 and turned it into what she has now. An absolutely amazing interview with her. Video number 6, 2 educators, is myself and director Crystal Caldwell-Pretlow, just really explaining how this business has been a blessing to us as educators, where we suffer from a lot of the negatives of being an educator, where this business picks up the positive for us. It gives us the positive that we deserve. So it's a really great video for you to share with a prospect who may be in the education field, who may be a single mom, because I'm on as a single mom, she's on as a wife with children. So it's a great video that either of our types can relate to. And the last video is the top 5 factors of why you will want to own a home-based travel business. A really good informational video to help individuals make a decision as to why would you want to own a home-based travel business. So there are additional tags that you'll be tagging them on, because we will have Facebook Lives with various partners throughout the weeks coming and the months coming, and those, they will stay in the group. So once you see them, you will know who you need to tag under those videos. So when you're searching for these videos, you just go into the search box in the group and type in these titles, and you will find the video. So here I was searching for 2 educators, and it just comes up, and you click on it, and you, in the comments, you tag your prospect. So next would be a 3-way Facebook chat. We're used to doing the 3-way calls, but here's another way of doing a 3-way call, but you're doing it through Messenger, which is a lot more effective because it can stretch out throughout a day, 2 days, 3 days, however long. So you're not trying to pinpoint a time to talk to the person, because you're going to do it through Messenger. So you're going to message your person and say, hey, so-and-so, I'm glad you like what you saw. I'm working with some pretty incredible people. I want to introduce you to a couple of them so you can hear their story and they can answer some of your questions. Since I'm pretty new, hang on, I'll set up a group chat. Now you can do that as an audio message, or you can actually type this up. So once you create the group chat, you're going to introduce them to each other. You're going to introduce your prospect to your upline and your upline to your prospect. So you'll say, hey, Samantha, that's your upline's name. This is Mary, your prospect's name. She's a great friend of mine right now. She is running a daycare business and is looking to potentially start a business leveraging Facebook. And then you're going to say, hey, Mary, meet Samantha. She's got a lot of knowledge about our business and is the perfect person to answer your questions. As a matter of fact, she's built a huge organization here in Planet Marketing. She is married with a few kids, and she's super down to earth. And then you leave it at that, because guess what? Your upline is going to go ahead and leave an audio message saying, hey, Mary, how are you? I've heard so much about you. I hear that you have some questions. I'm here to answer for you. So go ahead and shoot your questions over so that I can help you to make an educated decision. And they're going to go back and forth, and you can actually click and listen. You don't have to do anything else. And like I said, this can go on for a day or 2 until they finalize their decision, which is great because we're used to calling people or trying to get them to set an appointment. Then they're rescheduling with us. So this 3-way Facebook chat is actually phenomenal. So the third-party story part, telling. Third-party validation. You want to know the stories of all of the directors in our organization so that you can edify them properly when you do these 3-way Facebook chats. So we will provide these stories for you. Don't worry about putting it together. But the directors that will be doing the 3-way chats are 3-star director Eric Hawkins, 2-star director Trudy Scott, 1-star director Richard Smith, 1-star director Yolanda Bennett, and 1-star director Krista Caldwell-Pretlow. They will be available to do these for you. So you give them a heads up, and then you go ahead and put them in a group chat, and then we will take it from there. So the story, the edification will include who we are, where we've been, what happened in our life that caused us to take a look at this, you know, how we heard about it, how we became a part, why we became a part of it, and what it is doing for us now. So you will have that edification, so don't worry about it. It will be a cheat sheet for you to use. Now, effectively closing your prospects. How will you follow up with them effectively? Well, here's some statistics that actually put things into perspective for us as network marketers. Sometimes we have these great goals and aspirations that we think that it's supposed to go one way when it actually goes another. So 48% of marketers never follow up with a prospect. So there, I've been in those shoes where I just never followed up. I just went on my intuition and said, oh, they're not interested. They didn't answer the phone or whatever. And I just didn't call them back. 25% of marketers follow up twice. 12% of marketers only follow up 3 times. Only 10% of marketers follow up more than 3 times. 12% of sales are made on the first contact. 13% of the sales are made on the second contact. 15% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. And guys, look at this. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So guys, the fortune is in the follow-up. You must continue to follow up with a prospect until they absolutely tell you flat out no. No, I don't want to do it. If they don't tell you no, you keep it in your calendar. Follow up 2 weeks, follow up 6 weeks, follow up 2 months, follow up 6 months, follow up 1 year, follow up 2 years. Continue to follow up, because there are individuals who I followed up with 3 years later who have partnered with me now. So the fortune is in the follow-up. And your genius closing questions are: what did you like best about what you saw? Do you see an opportunity for yourself? And is there anything else you need to know before we launch your business? Go ahead and ask for it, guys. Don't be afraid to close the sale. So now, how will we follow up and not be annoying? Because sometimes we feel like, we don't want to chase people. We don't want to seem like we're chasing them. So these are some ways that you can follow up without being annoying to your prospects. So do what you said you were going to do. If you said you were going to follow up with them at a specific time, be sure to follow through. People really appreciate that. Run your business through a planner or a digital calendar and a manual follow-up book, because that will help you so much. For me, I have all Apple products, so all of my appointments pop up on my watch, pop up on my phone, pop up on my computer. So there's never a time where I should miss anything, because it's popping up on everything. Get organized. It's amazing how many people run this business as a hobby and expect $1 million results. Treat your business like a hobby and it will pay you like a hobby. But if you treat your business like a business, it will pay you like a business. So become obsessed with documenting your exposures and your follow-up times. Make sure that you're using your tracker sheet. Make sure that you're using your calendar. Now, you want to connect with those awesome prospects on social media, because you're cultivating those relationships. Don't be afraid to get on a phone call, Zoom, Facebook Messenger, video chat, or even meet people in person if they're local. Give 24 to 48 hours before you follow up and just say, hey, Bob, where's your head at with Planet Marketing, right? Because if you don't follow up, each day that goes by, they lose an additional 10% of their interest in what it is that you've shown them. So you want to make sure that you get back with them within 24 to 48 hours. So if there's no response after a few days, you follow up with, hey, are you okay? Some people go through things and you don't know that. So you don't want to just assume that they've decided not to do it. I always say, hey, is everything okay? I'm just checking on you. That usually gets a response. 98% of the time they will respond and say, hey, I'm fine. This happened. I'm going to have to get back to you, whatever the case may be. If they still do not respond to you, say, hey, Bob, you must be busy and I don't want to keep hounding you. I'm going to take you off my list for now. Let me know if you want me to follow up with you in a month, 6 months, or a year. Now, use periodic updates to follow up with them as well. Keep your best prospects in the loop by updating them on special promotions, big events, upcoming calls, new product promotions, etc. Most people will get started after many conversations. So just be patient and stay consistent. So what we have created is a bootcamp series which will take place this week. And every single night at 9 p.m., the team will log on to Zoom and we will do the daily methods of operation activities every single night, as opposed to doing them on your own during the week. You may be doing them during the day, but we're going to ramp it up a few levels so that we can speed up the process of everyone growing their business. So when you get on a Zoom, you're going to make new friends. Like, we're going to mute our lines and everyone is just going to go to work. No one's going to be talking. We're just going to be working, but it's just the energy itself is going to motivate everyone to do the activities of reaching out to old friends, following up with previous friends, leaving meaningful comments on people's pages, their lives, their stories, in Facebook groups, adding new prospects to our sneak peek. So, and following up with the ones that are already in there that you put in maybe a day ago, maybe 2 days ago, following up with them and setting up those 3-way messenger chats. We're going to do that every single night over a series of days, because this is what a boot camp looks like. It's all out massive action, and that's what we're going to do. So now I'm going to open the floor for any questions that you may have. So I'm going to stop the recording.